We live in a world filled with voices, yet so few of us feel truly heard. It feels like the gaps between people are growing wider every day. But these divides don't come from our differences. They grow when we stop trying to understand each other. This is a story about two teenagers from completely different worlds, and how a simple act of empathy built a bridge between them. Aryan and Kavi went to the same school. They wore the same uniform and even sat in the same classroom. But their lives couldn't have been more different. Aryan came from a world of comfort. He had good grades, supportive parents, and a natural confidence that made things seem easy. Kavi, on the other hand, came from a world of struggle. He was quiet, withdrawn, and often misunderstood by his classmates. He carried worries that no teenager should ever have to carry alone. One day, their teacher announced a new assignment. She said firmly, "Group project, pairs of 2. As fate would have it, Aryan and Kavi were paired together. Under his breath, Aryan muttered, clearly annoyed, "Great. This is just going to slow me down." Kavi, hearing him, softly replied, "I'll do my best." In those first moments, their assumptions built a wall between them. Aryan saw Kavi's silence as a sign of weakness, while Kavi saw Aryan's confidence as pure arrogance. Neither of them made any effort to look deeper or understand the person sitting next to them. Their first few meetings were tense. Aryan, always focused on efficiency and results, grew frustrated. He asked, his voice sharp, "Why didn't you finish your part properly?" Kavi hesitated, looking down. I had to go home early yesterday." Aryan rolled his eyes. Everyone has excuses. He judged without knowing the full story, and Kavi stayed silent. To him, explaining the complexities of his life felt even heavier than just carrying the burden alone. He was used to being misunderstood, so he simply retreated further into his shell. The wall between them grew taller, but someone was watching quietly from a distance. Mrs. Silva, their class teacher, had seen this dynamic play out countless times. She knew that empathy wasn't something you could teach from a textbook. It was something that had to be experienced. After another difficult group session, she approached their desk. "Both of you," she said calmly, "stay back after school tomorrow." Aryan and Kavi exchanged a look of confusion, but they knew better than to argue. The next afternoon, Mrs. Silva didn't keep them in the classroom for a lecture. Instead, she drove them to a local community center. She gave them simple instructions: no phones, no complaints. Just one afternoon of service. Aryan was completely bewildered. "Why are we here?" he asked. Mrs. Silva looked at him with a gentle expression. "To listen," she said. "Not with your ears, but with your heart." As the afternoon went on, Aryan watched Kavi in a new light. He saw him patiently helping younger kids with their homework, explaining difficult concepts with a kindness that seemed completely at odds with the quiet, withdrawn boy from class. A small child tugged on Kavi's sleeve and asked, "Brother, will you come tomorrow too?" A soft smile appeared on Kavi's face. "If I can," he replied. Aryan was taken aback. He walked over to Kavi, his curiosity finally overpowering his judgment. "You come here often?" he asked, surprised. Kavi paused for a moment before answering. "After school, before work." The word hung in the air. "Work?" Aryan repeated, his voice softer now. For the very first time, Aryan asked a question instead of making an assumption. Kavi finally opened up. "My father is ill," he explained quietly. "I work evenings to help my family. Some days, it's just hard to keep up with everything." In that moment, Aryan felt something completely unfamiliar wash over him. "I didn't know," Aryan said softly, almost ashamed. Kavi looked at him directly. "You never asked." Later, as Mrs. Silva drove them back, she asked a simple question. "What did you learn today?" Aryan looked out the window, thoughtful. "I learned that I judged a story I never read," he admitted. Mrs. Silva nodded. Empathy begins the moment we pause our own opinions and make space for someone else's reality. That day, Aryan realized that true strength isn't about speaking the loudest. It's about listening the deepest. In the days that followed, everything changed. Aryan no longer rushed ahead, trying to do everything on his own. He started waiting for Kavi, offering help instead of criticism. Kavi, in turn, no longer felt invisible. He started sharing his ideas, his quiet voice now filled with a newfound confidence. They began to work together, not as competitors locked in a race, but as two people sharing a common goal and a mutual understanding. One afternoon, working on their project, Aryan said, "Let's finish this together." A genuine smile spread across Kavi's face. "Thank you," he said. It was a simple exchange, but it meant everything. Their story shows us that empathy doesn't erase our differences. It doesn't magically make our problems disappear. Instead, it connects us through them. It transforms the divides that separate us into bridges that bring us closer. When we choose compassion over judgment, we create a space for real connection to happen. As Mrs. Silva said, you don't need to live someone's life to understand them. You only need the courage to listen with your heart. This is how empathy is cultivated, one conversation, one moment of understanding at a time. This is how our hearts learn to meet in the middle. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider sharing it. And don't forget to subscribe for more content that explores the connections that bind us all.